Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal R&D program, where we are currently still working on our fuel production module a little bit here. I would like to do one minor tweak to what we've got here, and that is primarily I would like to increase our number of miners. Because currently, the way it is right now, clearly 2 miners are not enough, at least at the density at the launch pad, the launch site even. 2 miners are not enough to run a single ore processor. So I would like to get this to the place where it can run the 2 ore processors basically constantly. So I'm just going to bring this in a little bit here. There we go. And then do the same thing over on this side, like so. Snap that into position, just like that. Now, I don't know if this is going to be enough cooling. We may need additional cooling here for this. We'll see. We'll do the same thing over here, and we may also end up needing additional power for this. Once again, we'll see. So we'll snap this into position. Move this in ever so slightly. Same with this. That was too much. There we go. That'll do just fine. And now we'll just go ahead and put this guy in right there and snap him into position as well. Okay, so with 3 miners on each side, we have multiplied our mining potential dramatically. And now we need to run a quick test to see if that generates enough ore, and if it does, if we have enough heat dissipation there, and if we do, if we have enough power generation. So let's find that out. Okay, off we go. Oh, hello. Pretty heavily listing off to the left here. Very heavily listing off to the left, in fact. I'm guessing that has to do with clipping, maybe because these are clipping together a little bit. Regardless, let's just go ahead and park this guy right here. Now, it is currently nighttime, so we're not going to be able to test the power generation portion of this. But what we can absolutely do is test the heat portion. So we'll deploy these drills. And I'm probably going to end up learning how to do control groups, which I've never really done in KSP. But we'll probably set it up so that these are all deployable with a single press, because this is kind of fiddly. Okay, now we will go ahead and start these. Of course, this is going to drain our batteries, so if we run out of power, which we will eventually do since there's no sunlight right now, but if we run out of power, I'm going to need to turn on unlimited power for the time being. But let's go ahead and look at how quickly this drains our power. We'll go ahead and start these up. Okay, we're sitting at 500K. That's good. What about this one? Ooh, this one's increasing. Are they all? They are all increasing. Okay, so this thermal control system isn't large enough to do 3, but it is large enough to do 2. Good to know. And our electric charge isn't going down that quickly. We may actually have enough power when the sun comes up to run this. Of course, once we turn these on, our electric charge is increasing dramatically. But 3 is obviously not enough to feed a single one of these, which is unfortunate. How many is necessary? Go ahead and turn these on. Of course, these are all overheated at this point. Are they at their resting heat yet? They're not hugely overheated, I suppose. They're a little overheated. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this off and see how quickly this is filling up. I mean, obviously, a lot of this has to do with the fact that this is probably a really poor location to be mining. I haven't checked that, but I'm sure this is a bad location to be mining, and it might be better at Minmus, but I haven't checked there either. So we should assume that that's a bad location to be mining. So, I mean, this is filling up pretty quickly. Are we resting our heat yet? Actually, yeah. Our heat is decreasing currently. So it looks to me... Actually, let's just let this sit for a little bit here. Because it looks to me like our heat generation issues have to do with when our convertatron is on, not when our drills are on. Because I think these are going to drop back down to 500k and sit at 100% thermal efficiency. And then theoretically, once these tanks are full, we can turn these off, and we can only run the convertatrons when we actually need to fill up fuel, right? So that's not a huge deal. That said, it is going to take a very long time at this rate to fill these. But that's okay. I'm mostly interested right now in just seeing when these reach 500 Kelvin if they just sit there. And I suspect they will. The temperature of the convertatron is also dropping. And our electric charge is holding up surprisingly well, actually. To the point where I wonder where the sun is. Let's, Oh, hello, satellite. The sun is pretty close to coming up, actually. That's not too bad. I would physics warp this, but I have a feeling that will cause explosions. But yeah, 1.25 is all this is taking for power. And then the question is, once we're at 1 here, how quickly will this convert it over? Because obviously this isn't going to be 100% runnable, even with 6 harvesters here. But I'm not going to turn that back on because we're almost at 500 Kelvin. And then once that's the case, then we can revert this back, warp to morning, do a couple more tweaks. Like I would like to maybe put some more radiators over here. I think that might help if we had additional radiators on here. Because if we're getting heat from here over to here, surely we're getting heat over to here as well. That's only 2 parts away. So surely we can get additional radiators. There will be no additional heat generation over here. So I think that's fine. Yeah, they're approaching 500 Kelvin. So I think we are going to make it to 500 Kelvin. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this guy on. And we'll see how quickly it burns through this ore. Answer? Pretty quickly. Look at that. We made 0.15 liquid fuel and 0.19 oxidizer. Excellent. Okay, so we got through our fuel. And now it's just going to be constantly converting that over. So I'm just going to go ahead and revert this back to vehicle assembly. And let's go ahead and first things first, I'm going to move this guy back to be here. because I don't like how far forward that is. There we go. And now we'll go ahead and place one over here. Can we... I don't think we can place it in any sort of a mirrored mode, but we can place it like that-ish, and then we can adjust with the move tool. So I'm just going to bump them over this way a little bit. Actually, no, I think there. And there. I think that's perfect. And then we'll place in another radiator here. Right? Or here. Nope. One angle bump further. So right there. I'm only interested in the angle right now. That's the right angle. Excellent. And we may want to place these a little further back to help offset the increased weight over here ever so slightly. I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference, but it may make some difference in the controllability of this thing. Because if we look at our center of weight here, or center of mass, you can see that our center of mass is skewed forward a little bit. Now, we can change that by starting with some fuel back here. We can in fact make it heavier by filling these in full. We can make it substantially heavier. That said, that also makes it substantially heavier, and I kind of don't want to do that. Okay, we should be in the place tool. That makes things much easier. So we can just do that. Okay. So if we need any extra things like solar panels, we should put them back here. In fact, maybe we should put like photovoltaic panels here. That doesn't really do much. We could do gigantors back here. But that's kind of clipping into things. We could do a single gigantor back here. That might be occluded by things. Of course, we would want to make it straight up and down. About like that. That's going to clip into all sorts of things, so I kind of don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and save this. And I'm going to leave here and then warp to morning. And then we're going to test the power and see if our increased heat dissipation does the trick. Hello, morning. Okay. Back into the VAB we go, and let's go ahead and launch this guy. Come on. You can load. I have faith in you. There you go. Fantastic. Okay. SAS on to help control that drift. And then let's go over this way. Come on. Brakes on. And we'll just see about drifting over here a little ways off of the concrete. And then we'll turn around this way would be ideal for power generation, but we don't necessarily know that we're going to have ideal power generation. In fact, I know that we're probably not going to have ideal power generation. So I'm going to extend these. I don't expect that we're going to be getting any power flow from these right now. Yep, no power flow. There should be a little bit of power flow there, but overall no power flow. We'll extend these, and we will be getting substantial power flow from these. There we go. And now let's go ahead and extend our radiators. And of course, it does bear noting that this thing doesn't have to be fully self-sustaining for power, right? Because it'll be hooked into the base's power network. So that's another thing that we should consider. So there's all of our heat reducers. That's a technical term. I haven't extended that one yet, though. And currently, our electric charge is still going up. So we'll go ahead and deploy these drills like so. And again, I should probably put these into an action group. But I'm also lazy. Okay. And now let's start drilling. And we'll see how that goes, getting to 500 Kelvin. Very nice. Now for this side. Excellent. Okay. And you can see that we are getting ourselves some ore. Now, we are currently increasing our electric charge by a very small amount. But like I said, we can just tap into the base power. So let's go ahead and run this and see what that does to our power. This isn't going to take long to deplete our ore. Yeah, we're using a little bit of power there, but with base power, we'll be completely fine. Now this is overheating here, but the drills are not overheating. That is the important thing. The drills are remaining at 500 Kelvin with these additional radiators. That is fantastic. Because we're not going to be running these convertitrons very much, honestly. So that's great. I would say that our fuel production module is basically ready to go. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Subscribe for more, and next episode, we are going to be taking this thing to Minmus somehow. We're going to have to rework our Flea 2 a little bit. But until then, I will see you all next time.